OPTC are deciding to do a 3-legend end-of-month batch, and I'm getting some stinky Tobi Roppo vibes. However, these legends just seem a lot better than what the Tobi Roppo were. Alright, so they're all slashes based around the clashes with Zoro. We're going to start with Alba because he does sound like the best out of the three in my opinion. He's a dex slasher driven character. He has final tap and special reduction limit. He's based up around Wano orbs, removing despair and bind as a captain is massive. 10 turns of both of those debuffs is crazy. His final tap is pretty interesting, allowing you to add 0.5 of the damage dealt by normal attacks of all other characters, very reminiscent of the original Straw Hat Crew V2. He sets defense to 0, applies Ignite that goes through barriers, gives resistance down for all types, and applies weakening class depending if you have 5 slashes or 5 driven characters. Seems very interesting with a very easy super type as long as you have Zoro or Kaido and can use as a sailor. Over in Rumble, he seems cracked. Basically a slasher version of Enma Zoro for applying a provoke attack, counter ability, and doing all this crazy stuff there. However, he can be run on driven teams as well, but Slash is where he probably shine most. Not far behind Alba, we have Dracula Mihawk, who is a super tandem variant. He has the special limit reduction as well at level 5. He gives cooldowns, verse effect, and switch abilities, cool reduction of 2 turns at the start of the quest. He's based on like hitting perfects and can extend attack buffs, adding 0.2 to the chain minimum, very reminiscent of 6+ Yamato. He removes threshold and attack down, gives tap timing, give me an attack booster, or he can give that tap timing that I mentioned. His super class again, needing either a Zoro or a Shanks, which is super interesting, can be used as a sailor, giving super slashes. Gives the overrideable color affinity buff and gives some extra buffs to the final tap at 25%. All these characters seem to be just buffing that final tap buff. His super tandem gives more final tap buffing and a tandem attack boost of 2.25. Over in Rumble, he seems absolutely cooked for Slash's cerebral teams. 1.3 times damage that goes to defensive effect that hits everyone, and then has another 1.3 that bypasses defensive effects as well. It is a 39-second cooldown, however, he gives himself level 2 cooldown up to 3 times when hitting a crit or getting some blowaway shenaniganry. Finally, we have Mr. One, who's probably the least hype of the 3. However, he directly supports cross skill, which is very interesting. Having a super tandem ability that gives HP guard with his super class just allows you to get all those juicy rushes of cross guild in as well. He has that reminiscent cross guild ability where he gives himself 12 turns of cooldown, provided you have the character maxed out. He can remove bind. He gives cooldowns to the top right and the middle right character, depending on where you put cross guild there. And plus, he can also give final tap buff up to 10 times, 5 in a single turn, which is pretty interesting as well. His super tandem seems kind of mid. Over in Rumble, on a 17-second cooldown, he can give some damage over time, and if you do manage to pull up like 10 copies of this character in the future, remember these are all like regular legends, so you eventually will. You get a damage over time level 10, which is kind of crazy. He's built around quick slashes, so that original driven quick slasher cross guilds Roger Rayleigh, Roger Odin build might be coming back, but all the characters seem really, really interesting.